Okay, it's 7:21 in the morning. I'm all checked in. So, boy, I tell you, it's kind of hard with the sun. Working with the morning sun's a little bit different than the afternoon sun. Anyway, mulch. Whoa! Holy snakes. I have never in my life seen a rattlesnake. And there's one right there. We are not going to mess with him. Look at him. All right, we're going to leave you be, Mr. Rattlesnake. Although, let's see if I can get a picture of him. He's not happy. I can still hear that snake. I tell you, when you hear a rattlesnake, that's not the first time. That's the second time I've heard a snake. That's the first time I've actually seen one. And he was not happy. So, must be the time of day when the snakes come up to kind of get the morning sun. So, I definitely have to watch where I'm treading. The good news about the rattlesnakes is that they don't like to mess with people, which is why they do the rattle. The rattle isn't to come after you and attack you. The rattle's to warn you, to say, hey, look, you're in my turf. Be careful where you're walking, or I'm going to be a little upset with you. So it scared me. I'm glad that you had the opportunity to see one today, because, again, I've heard them in the past, but I've never physically seen one. And I don't know if I picked up on the camera well, but they do have a very distinctive rattling sound. It's unlike anything I've heard of before. It's not quite what I always envisioned that noise to be. It's actually scarier in person, so it's a good way to start the morning. So. So about 3 miles to Peñasco Blanco, and one of the interesting things we're going to see along the way is this thing that says Supernova pictograph. I think that folks are on the fence on whether or not that pictograph actually represents a supernova. I guess based on how they dated it. I don't know, but I think it's really, really an interesting thing to see, and we're going to have to check that out along the way. So I'm excited to show you. So in the meantime, we are just going to hike a couple miles. All right, so here we are already at the Petroglyph Trail to the right. So we're going to go ahead and take this and see what we can see. First, there are already, I can see some contemporary scratching, so it's a shame that people do that, but you could really tell the difference. I've mentioned this before in my videos. You can tell the difference between a contemporary and an older one. If you look up here, you can see these are much older, and they can tell because of the designs, because there's patina that's built up between the original dark colors, like up here, and then the shapes themselves. And some of the pictographs here, this is wonderful. See the figure right there. There's some pecking down below here. Some beautiful spirals. Appears to be some kind of fish design here. This is contemporary. But look at these. These things are super close. They're right up here. They're within, you can reach out and touch this stuff. So cool, so cool. So what I particularly like about these petroglyphs here, this area right here, this panel, reminds me very much of some other places I've been, like Petrified Forest, where they have these singular areas that almost look like they're a place for trading messages or something, right? Because you don't see this concentration along the entire, set of petroglyphs along the entire run of this wall here. It's just in this one spot, which begs the question, why? Why here, of all places? Is it because it's on the edge of a canyon, and maybe there was a small settlement back there and people were passing through, or maybe it's because they were coming across the canyon this way, because Peñasco Blanco is right up there on that hill. So maybe this being a line of sight was a way to give directions or something. I don't know. But regardless of why it's here, it is just a stunning example of prehistoric art, prehistoric messages, and of course in there you have a little bit of, some early 20th century. I see a 1913 date up there. I see a 1912 date, 1937. So although it's not great that people did that, at least you have an idea when some people were through. So we're going to go ahead and return to the main trail here. We're going to hook a right. We still have 2 more miles to Peñasco Blanco, and along the way we're going to see the Supernova, which is a pretty cool thing to see as well. So let's continue this hike. Still a beautiful day. I'm in the shade though. It looks like it's going to get hot. Okay, this is where I have to chuckle a little bit. So I've made it across the canyon floor. So if you look way over there, that's where I was. We came around that bend and then across the canyon floor here. But I have to laugh a little bit because this is the spot last year where I made it this far on the trail, and then I saw this sign which says hazardous crossing when flowing, danger. And I thought this is where the trail ended. I thought I went the wrong way, so I literally walked almost all the way back just to realize I was on the right trail after all, and this actually continues. And the warning basically means, if there has been a rainy season, monsoon season, and there is water flowing through this canyon here, to be very careful, because the depths can be deceiving. What might look like it's just a short little couple inches could ultimately be 2 or 3 feet because the soil is so loose. The rushing water will dig down, dig down, dig down. It's how this canyon came to be, right? So this is not super hard rock. At least that's my understanding. So where we're headed is way up there, and to get there, it's going to be a meandering, twisting, and winding way, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So far, let's see, I think it was 7:20 when I started. It's now 5 minutes to 9, so it's been a few hours. We've made a few stops, but so far so good. Coming up on the spot that sign's referring to, maybe 20 yards from where the sign is. So it's a pretty big cut here. So what we need to do is just get through. Now last time I was here, there actually was water running. This time it's perfectly dry. So we just need to make it through. So let's go ahead and make it through, shall we? Oh. Sliding. So there's at the bottom of the wash. See how it just continues on? What we're going to do is go ahead and climb up here, and then we'll be on our way. Watching out for rattlesnakes, of course. Okay, the Supernova petroglyph, pictograph is right there, right above, along with a whole bunch of bird nests, which are built right in the side. And look at, there's some circles there, must have been from the bird's nests. I don't think that's a pictograph there. But yeah, isn't that neat? I think it's cool also with all the birds. almost to the top of this hill. Over there you can see it's the ruins of Peñasco Blanco, which is where we're going. But in the meantime, still got about another quarter mile to go. We'll just enjoy the hike. It's definitely getting warmer. Feels like it's at least in the, I don't know, man, 70s maybe? Of course, then again, I'm tired from walking, but it's all part of the adventure. Well, that concludes my visit to Peñasco Blanco. If I said it right. I don't know, sometimes I think I keep saying it the wrong way. Anyway, what I did is I thanked everybody for allowing me to come here. In other words, I thanked the ancestral Pueblo people. I thanked the Chacoian people. Anybody here that may have used the site at some point, because I think it's important to recognize that although they're not physically here, they are still here. We're just separated by time, right? Where I'm walking right now, somebody else walked at one point. So we're really all together. We're just separated by this concept that really is hard to grab onto, and that is time, right? But that's one of the things that I enjoy doing that is very fulfilling to me, is thanking those folks, because it's important to let them know that I appreciate the fact that they were here and that they were able to construct this and survive and and really allow us to feel their presence when we walk around these sacred sites. So, Peñasco Blanco, absolutely amazing site. The architecture, the age, hundreds and hundreds of years old, dating back to like 1100, if not earlier. What happened to the people? Where'd they go? Did they become part of the Navajo? Those are the questions that I don't know if anybody can really answer, but the site is amazing. And if you ever get out this way and you're willing to take this enormous hike on a very warm day, or maybe even a cool day, by all means do so. It's well worth the effort. And I think you'll feel a sense of fulfillment if you do that. So, all right. What new adventure lies ahead, I have no idea, but I guess we'll find out together.